What is going on, guys? My name is Halvy, and today I'm bringing you a video that is a little bit more on the sad side, actually a lot more on the sad side. And that is because there are a lot of people that are close to me and around me and close to a lot of other people as well that are in seriously bad times right now, either dying or have died. Those of you that have watched Tochi's channel as well, you saw probably about a week ago he put out a video, RIP Kevin. Kevin passed away. It was a little over a week ago. It was a little over a week ago that he passed away. And his memorial was this last weekend. And so I went to that, and it was just kind of surreal, to be honest. Because Kevin has actually been in several of my videos. He's been in at least one or two. I know that he was on a couple of the Outlast ones briefly. But Kevin was an amazing guy. He was actually both Tochi and I's RA for our floor. For some reason, I don't know exactly why, but every time he would come by my room, we would start talking and have some deep debate. It would have some serious talk or whatever. And there was a couple times I would walk by his room, and his door would just be open and just be sitting there playing games. He always used to love Rainbow Six, and I never was able to actually play it with him. And that's something I wish I could have had, considering just buying it just to play it to see what that would have been like, I guess. I would always come by his room and just talk with him. And he'd be playing his game or whatever, but then if he could tell that, we were going into a deep talk, or if it progressed into that naturally or whatever, he would go and shut the door, and then we'd just start talking. And he would do that. We'd come by. I remember one time he came by for a room check, and we got into this long talk, 30, 40 minutes, when he has, 50 other dorm rooms to check in on. And we were talking about politics and the education system and how it could be better and everything. And he was always such a positive person, even when he was arguing. Like, he brought up really good points, but he was very positive about them and always trying to assume the best in people. But not only that, he was also, and for those of you that don't know, I'm a Christian. And he was he was a really good Christian too. He was a Seventh-day Adventist. And man, that dude was a God guy. And whether you believe in God or whether you don't, it really doesn't matter, because all that you need to know is, as a Christian, like, yes, he believed in God, and he attributes all of his, who he is, to God. For those of you that don't believe in God, this guy was an amazing person, full of love, full of trying to do the best that he could to help anybody at any time in their life. He always wanted to go with them and walk with them along their struggles and their journeys. He was always there for you to talk to. So whether you're religious or not, whether you are, he prided himself on that. That was, I guess, my point. Like, he prided himself on being a Christian, pastoral, just very great guy. And he specifically loved to work with kids. And he actually, when he passed, he was up at a summer camp where he was working as the boys' director for counselors. So he was just a great guy all around. Everyone loved him. Going to the memorial service, what blew my mind, though, was that it was always so similar. They had this section where people would come up and they'd actually talk about what they loved about Kevin, or stories with Kevin, or something like that. It became very interesting to me because every single person had something where they would talk about how them and Kevin had an amazing one-on-one chat. And it's like, Kevin's that kind of guy. He's that friend that makes you feel like you're one of his, you're just your best friend. And I saw him a lot, and especially because Tochi was actually like his best friend. And so he was in the room a lot and stuff too. So I got to know him a lot over the past quarter. Anyways, he was the kind of guy, though, that he really took the time to be a great friend to every single person he was in contact with. There was no one that wasn't worth his time. And that was just so admirable to me, is the fact that I'm sitting here and I had all these great conversations. And, those conversations where you really feel like you connected with someone. And he's done that with every single person that he's a friend with, or that he even knew remotely, And so he was an amazing guy. And so it's very sad. And I just figured over the past week and a half, 2 weeks or so, that's why both Tochi and I haven't been really posting videos. But as much as I could make, an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour long video about Kevin, it's also sad because there's other things going on too. And that's why I kind of got to the point of making this video. When I was in high school, I lived at this house with one of my really, really good friends at the time. Nick was his name. I pretty much lived with him my senior year of high school. We were best friends, and his family really just kind of adopted me as their own. And I really loved all of them for that. And his mother, she was very supportive in everything, and very much so a loving, kind-hearted, motherly person. And she always made me feel at home. no matter what. And it was really hard, actually. I was living with Nick and with the family the summer that I ended up breaking up with my fiance now at the time. It was about a year into our relationship and we broke up. So I was with them through all of that too. So she has a really warm spot in my heart for her. But she ended up was diagnosed with cancer a while back, and she ended up having a scare this last year. But then she ended up recovering okay, and I remember seeing her. I don't remember the last time I actually totally saw her, but I remember like seeing her several times throughout this last year, and only occasionally because she had moved to a different place, so she wasn't just in the area anymore. And it was just she looked much weaker and thinner and everything, just like the cancer had been wearing on her. But she was still just the same person, just loving and happy and so warm and heartfelt in every way that she interacted with each person, and just like to me, almost like a second mother of sorts. Anyways, she was having some sort of recovery, or so it seemed. She was doing better. And then to me, I guess, I don't know, out of the blue, it wasn't out of the blue, it's cancer. It's a horrible thing, but ultimately she ended up passing away just this last week as well. Right before I went to Kevin's memorial, actually, I believe, is when I heard that she had passed away. So that was just really crushing too. It's like, oh my gosh, two people in the same time. And just last year, one of my high school buddies that I went to school with through all of high school, he died. And I remember literally just a week before he died, hanging out with him and going down grabbing burritos for lunch, and because he was helping me work on my bike. We were working on my bike together. And so it's kind of crazy. And then beyond that too, those are like my close people. But then beyond that, my little brother, my half brother Dylan, he's 5. One of the kids in his class, one of his friends, apparently, who's also around 5 or 6 or so, but apparently got hit by a truck in the crosswalk as his family was walking across, and I guess he fell. And it was just that second that his family didn't realize that he had fallen, and he got hit by a truck and killed. And this happened just within the past several weeks. And then my fiance, she told me about someone else, someone's husband someone's husband who's suffering too. But then also there was one of my high school friends, and her brother actually died as well, just within the past month or so. And so this is just leaving me with this like, oh my gosh, everyone is dying, everyone is hurting, and so many people. And it's weird how life works like that. It kind of comes in waves, So it's been a very hard time, and it bothers me too. And I wasn't normally necessarily going to bring this into the YouTube light, but I figured now's a greater time than ever. But my fiance's dad actually has cancer, and he's been fighting that for over a year now, and we have no idea what the situation really is with that. So it's all around. It's very heavy times, and it scares me because I think about my fiance's dad and the fact that everyone is dying right now close to me anyways. And it gives me this sense of paranoia almost, because my fiance is actually living about 4 hours away from me. And when I have all these people dying, and I'm like, oh my God, she's, I can't lose someone like her close to me too. And my family just moved away, states away, so they're not close to me anymore. And I had just moved out from graduating, so I'm like alone here with all these people close to me dying or in illness or something. And it's been crazy. It's been really heavy. And so, not to focus on any one person more or less, please, prayers from whatever faith you are, please send your prayers or your good thoughts or your positive vibes or whatever you believe in, send those towards those families of the people, Kevin and Mirtha and my brother's friend and my fiance's dad and my other friend's brother. Like, gosh, you just almost forget there's so many now. Just please send out your prayers or your thoughts and your positivity to those families, and also especially those around you, because I'm sure some of you also have people around you hurting. And my thoughts and prayers go out to you guys as well. But it's a rough time, guys. So I just wanted to update you a little bit on what's been going on and why it's been a little stale lately. We have our ups and downs in the world, and that's okay. And that's just the way that life works. And me being Christian, I'm excited to know that someday in the future, I hope to see them again, whatever way that may take and whatever form that may take. But I'm still hurting, and the families are still hurting, despite what people say of religious people say of like, don't worry because we'll see him again. Yes, absolutely, I believe in their soul, and I'm going to see their soul again, but I don't believe that I'm ever going to see Kevin as Kevin again. I don't believe that I'm going to see him in the light, in the physical human form again. You know, that's not what's going to happen. So I'm hurting for the fact that I lost a friend. I'm never going to see him again in that way. I do hope that I see his soul interact with him again at some point in the future of life and wherever it may hold. But, you know, it still sucks. So my thoughts, again, prayers go out to all of you guys as well who are, you know, in similar situations or hurting or who have hurt or who will be hurting in the future. But just dark times, you know, there's a lot of hard stuff going on. And same with all this, all of the police shootings, you know, it's like, it's crazy how many people are dying. And Black Lives Matter. Yes, they absolutely do. So do cop lives matter. All the people's lives matter, you know. So I'm going to be doing a video on that soon, but it's crazy how dark of times we're in right now. And I think it's important to sit and really just think about the ones you love and care for them and show them you love them, because really all that I'm learning as of lately too is that life is so precious and so fragile. And so really don't take for granted the time that you have with the people around you, and treat every day like it could possibly be your last, because it might. And not in a depressing tone, but in a live each day to the best you can and care for those around you and make sure that everyone that you love knows it. A very somber video, guys, but I felt like it needed to be shared. So I hope you guys, despite this, have an amazing day, an amazing rest of your week, and have had a great week. And if not, I promise you things will get better. So much love to you all. With that said, stay beautiful, have a fantastic freaking day, and we'll see you later.